Hello, friends. Today's episode is brought to you by From Within Records. If you're not following From Within Records on social media, please go boot up X or go boot up Instagram and click that follow button to stay up to date on all the current news. And like I always say, please support From Within Records because they support us. If you're looking for high quality merch for your band or for your business, please hit up my friends over at Good Fortune Printing out of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. You can follow them on Instagram at Good Fortune Printing, or if you want to get in contact with them, please email them, contact@goodfortuneprinting.com. You can thank me later. On today's episode, we had to track down our good friend Pat Kennedy, plays in a band called No Pressure, also plays in another band called Light Years. And this one was special for me because in 2023, No Pressure was my number one most streamed artist of the year. So for me to be able to have someone from the band on the podcast, it just meant a lot to me. But it was fun because 2023, No Pressure, my most streamed artist. And end of 2023, I traveled to Bogota with Jeff and with Carl Gunhouse, and we go to the 100% Hardcore Festival. And No Pressure's headlining one night, so I thought it was this weird, like, serendipitous thing that, like, you know, one of my most favorite bands, my most streamed artists of the year, I get to see them at the end of the year, which I didn't plan it out that way. It just happened, and it was so awesome. The set was sick. If you go watch the Bogota vlogs, there's a snippet from their set. I have more videos. Maybe I'll upload them later, but if not, their set will be uploaded in the future, hopefully by Feet First. I'll have to tap in with Jeff to see what's going on over there. But that night, I was leaving the venue and I saw Pat sitting in this hallway, and I wouldn't have forgiven myself if I didn't say something to him, just because I'm such a huge fan. And anything that I've ever heard about Pat is that he's just such a nice guy overall. So in my mind, I was all right, this interaction can't be that bad. So on my way out, I just, gave him his flowers, told him about how much I love No Pressure. And I had asked him to come on the podcast and he was down. So I was so happy when he said that he was down. So I'm very happy that I talked to him that night. So this is another installment of Bogota on the podcast. I'm seriously such a fan of Bogota, and I literally cannot wait to go back later this year. But this conversation was awesome. If you're a fan of Light Years, if you're a fan of No Pressure, I think you're going to enjoy this one. Or if you're not familiar, please hit pause, go boot up Spotify, Apple Music, Tidal, Bandcamp, YouTube, whatever you listen to music with, and go check out Light Years. They last put out a single in 2021, which I think is only available on Bandcamp. That single was awesome. No Pressure. Obviously, they consistently put out good music, so go listen to everything that they have, and then come back here and listen to Pat and I nerd out about our favorite pop punk bands throughout the years. We talked about Blink-182 and our encounters with them, and it was just such a great time, and I'm very happy that we did it, and I'm very much looking forward to doing it again in the future. So please strap in, enjoy this conversation. Without further ado, welcome Pat Kennedy to the show. We're recording. Welcome to the podcast. Pat, how's it going?
Good, man. Thanks for having me.
No, this is very exciting for me because just like I told you in Bogota, 2023, out of all the music that I listened to on Spotify, No Pressure was my number one most streamed artist of the year. So it's an honor to have somebody from the band on today. So thank you so much for being down.
Yeah, thanks, man. Let's go. Bogota was crazy, huh?
Yeah,
That was fun.
that was my first time, going to Bogota, experiencing anything like that. And I know you guys were on a run, to the fest. So, can you talk about what your experience was like? Was that your first time down there?
That was my first time. Regulate had done it before, so Harry knew the ropes, and but I had a great time. It was we hit Brazil, which was insane. All the comments being like, "Come to Brazil," definitely. We're telling the truth because they went hard. The show was nuts, but then we hit Chile. Uh, this sounds stupid, but that show was cool. But yeah, we got to spend a lot of time in Colombia. We had a couple days off before the fest that weekend, and just learning and being around people down there was awesome. The scenery was crazy. I didn't expect it to be so. It's like in a mountain range around you, and the weather was ideal for me. I loved it.
Yeah, nobody warned me about the altitude, and I
Dude,
was,
yeah.
yeah, I was tripping out because it made me like really self conscious because I didn't find out about altitude till after the fact. So while I was
Yeah.
there, when I was walking around, I was like, man, why am I so sweaty? Why am I so like out of breath? Like I
Yes.
I need to get in shape or something's like going on here. But then come to find out, we're at some like crazy altitude, and I just had no idea.
Yeah, I had the same experience. I was like loading in like a one guitar, and I was like, I'm gonna pass out. Like I am out of shape, but I am out of shape. But it
Yeah.
was sweet.
Okay. And I had a lot of fun at the fest, but I kind of want to put that on pause and kind of build back up to that. But I want to go back to the summer of 2012, if you can remember that far back.
2012. Yeah, that's many moons ago.
Yeah, you also played in a band called Light Years, and you guys had a really awesome summer tour. Um,
Oh yeah.
yeah, and for me, and I always had to tell this story because back then I was like on like the pop punk blogs and just finding out music that way at that point in time. And I remember I was really into Turnover, still a fan of the band
Hmm.
to this day, but back then I was really into Turnover, and I had to like try to convince friends to go to that tour. Everybody called
Yeah.
me crazy. They're like, we've never heard of any of these bands, like we're definitely not going to go. So I was like, whatever. I was like, I can't miss this because like I am really into it. And then I remember, being in line, and that's how like I found out about like Citizen and Light Years because
Yeah.
everybody we're talking about those bands, but I was really just happened with Turnover at that time. So getting to experience something like that, very early on, and then like years later, like your friends. Those same friends that turned me down to go to the show would try to tell me about Turnover, and I'm just like, "You guys are idiots! Like, don't even talk
Yeah.
to me."
I've
Um,
been knowing.
but can you talk about what that tour was like for you? Because I just think, it was like a great group of bands for that time to be together on tour.
Oh, dude, it was awesome. Being from Ohio, Light Years had known Citizen for a little bit, and then through Citizen met Turnover because they were doing the Run for Cover stuff, and they brought up doing the tour. And at the time, made sense. It was cool. Like they were a little bit bigger at the time than us, and it's funny to see how both those bands kind of blew up really big, and they're like kind of household names in the punk world. But or Turnover is doing their other stuff now, but the tour was like so long for the time, and we were so poor and just young. Like we had to wait. The tour had to start a specific date because the Nick Ham had to graduate high school before we could leave. So like they were super young. But it was just one of those tours where it was like everyone's hanging out every day. The shows were honestly pretty awesome for that time. Like they were pretty small, intimate shows that you're lucky to go see them at that size. But even when they were bad, we didn't care because it was just like having fun. I specifically remember we tried to fit all bands in like one hotel room because we were trying to save money and like no one
Mhm.
had a place to stay, so there was way too many people. I think I ended up sleeping in the van that night anyway, but just stuff like that. Swimming. It was a crazy summer for sure, and I'm glad I'm still friends with all those guys today, and it's cool to see what they've done. Both those bands have gotten pretty huge, so it's pretty sweet.
Okay.
Light Years didn't, but
But
that's
I
okay.
and you guys are still a band, right? Not super active,
Yeah,
but still do stuff.
not super active. Everyone's old. two of the guys have kids now, so it's not really a front burner anymore. But like we'll hang out all the time. We'll jam. I'm trying to do maybe just like an EP or something. So it's not, we didn't officially break up, but it's definitely not like it was for sure. But we're still doing something. We'll play like one show a year.
Yeah, I think that's awesome because I love that style of music. Obviously, I still love that style of music to this day. You know, and like last year, you guys celebrated 10 years for "I Won't Hold This Against You," which is a cool milestone because you know there's a lot of bands that can't even make it 10 years.
Yeah, for sure. At this point, it's kind of like I don't know what else to do, so you know, I don't want to like call it and not have a band, and because that's like kind of when we get together, it's just like, oh, we'll just jam, you know. So, but yeah, thanks, man. It's been fun.
Yeah, honestly, I felt like you guys still have it because back in 2021, you guys put out, I guess it's fair to call it a single for the Riffs for Tots.
Oh yeah. I didn't know if that like did anything, but it was just we recorded it ourselves and kind of sent it to our friend to mix and popped it out. It was our friend was doing like a benefit, and we're like, we got this song we can do. And I really like that song, so it turned out good.
Yeah, no, I like hearing that. Obviously, for a band that is around for a long time and has like an extended discography, sometimes they will experiment or try to change their sound. But I feel like through the history of Light Years, like you guys had a good track. I think that there wasn't really anything that I listened to that turned me off or thought you guys had lost it. So even back in 2021 when you guys put that out, I was like, dang, like this is awesome that there's still that they can get to this well and still produce something that's good quality and not just putting something out like beating a dead horse. It's like, no, I feel like you guys still have something there.
Damn, I appreciate it, man. Yeah, that was kind of the goal. We just, if we like it, we'll do it. If it, we're not trying to get crazy and get in our shoegaze phase, so we're good.
The shoegaze phase, which I'm very picky when it comes to that kind of stuff. Not my favorite type of show to go to live. It gets very like low energy and just
for sure, no stage dives.
Yeah, or like the random people that do stage dive is like it's just so confusing.
Yeah, what are you doing?
Okay, well, can you talk about No Pressure? Can you talk about like the beginning from your perspective?
For sure. It was actually it gets lumped into like a COVID project, but it kind of started before. Harry, I'll give all the credit. He was the mastermind, the drummer. He hit me up, was like, "Yo, I want to do a band that's like really fast, pop punk stuff, but like in the hardcore world. Think like early Blink, Lifetime stuff, like Saves the Day." Which is my wheelhouse. And I was like, obviously I'm on board. And then we'd known Parker for a while, and Harry reached out to him and he was down. I think Story was kind of not doing much at the time. And so we just, Harry came out to Cleveland. We jammed some songs, sent them to Parker. He put his vocals on it. And this kind of happened during COVID, because then COVID came. And so we were all just doing nothing. And so Parker did it and we were like, damn, this is awesome. And it kind of went from, let's see if we put these songs out and see what happens, to it kind of caught on, and we've now toured everywhere you can tour, I think. But the beginning was super crazy. We were like, maybe we'll get to play a show, like, maybe we'll, you know what I mean? And but it was pretty fun, just having no stress and like no one really saying like, oh, you got to do this or that, because it was just us three at the beginning. And Harry did the first pressing of the 7-inch. He mailed every single one out. It was like 500 copies from his apartment. And because we're like, yeah, we'll do it ourselves, dude. And then after we did that, we're like, well, ask a label next time. It was so much work for him. But shout out Harry for doing all that. That was awesome.
And was there ever any concerns? You guys were, the three of you were so far like spread apart.
Kinda, but we've been able to make it work pretty well. Me and Harry are like, I'm in Cleveland, he's in New York, so we can kind of get there. It's like a 7-hour drive, and Parker doesn't mind going to New York City to jam. And we found, the dude that plays bass, AJ, now lives in New Jersey. Body's around there too, so it was all semi East Coast, Midwest. But at first it was all kind of just sending stuff over the internet and making it work like that. But yeah, I think it's been working out okay. We make it work, so
Yeah,
not too
and
bad.
it's been cool to see the rise of No Pressure, because I remember getting the demo. And just and honestly, I only knew that Harry was in the band. I didn't even know who else was in it. So I just like was just like
Dope.
blown away. I was like, this just kind of came out of nowhere, because it wasn't even anything that I was like expecting or even had heard about. So when I listened to it, I was like, wow, this is like so refreshing and right up my alley. So like just right at the bat, I just like fell in love with the music.
Damn, thanks, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. It was kind of just like we'll just drop this, see if anyone's paying attention, and it definitely worked. It was cool. Um, yeah, it was fun to see because most of my time in music has been kind of an uphill battle, like
Hmm.
struggling along, you know what I mean? But it didn't matter that much. Like that's what I love to do. But when No Pressure came out, it was kind of like, oh my god, this is what it can be like. People like this, so it was cool to see people latching onto it early. It's just fun.
And it seems like, from my perspective, because like I'm just a fan, right? I feel like you guys could take over the world. Are you guys just trying to like pace yourself? Because you guys are very active, but when I look at what you guys are doing, I was like, man, I feel like they could do bigger things.
We're definitely not trying to do that, kind of actively keeping it, for lack of a better word, punk. And like, we get offers to do. Someone sent us an email to tour with like someone hilarious. The not Devil Was Prada, but somewhere in that world. And we were like, why would we do that? But
Hmm.
the cool thing about No Pressure is like we kind of do it on our own terms and keeping it back into the scene that like, when I first started playing shows was hardcore shows in Cleveland. Harry obviously is entrenched in that world, and it's just really refreshing to be part of that community again, and where people aren't too whack. It's most real people, and the shows are so small and fun. And like obviously Parker has the other band story that does big stuff. They're huge, and so for him, it's kind of cool to be like, yeah, this is the shows I used to play. I'm playing them again, and it's really fun. So we're kind of keeping it low key on purpose, I think. Not that I'm saying that we could be huge, but you know what I mean. Like we're trying to like
Yeah. Well,
stick
I'll
to the
say
500
it
cap.
because I'm not in the band, but I feel like you guys could be huge. But I do like that strategy, right? Because there comes a point where if you get too big, there's a certain portion of the crowd that will turn on you guys. Oh, that band's too
100%.
cool or
Yeah.
whatever. And even though it's the same band, the same music, for whatever reason, if you get too big, people start to hate. But I definitely love where you guys are at right now. It's like a really cool spot where you, because I feel like getting to fly to Bogota to see you guys, I'm like, oh, this is insane, because decent sized room in Bogota, but back home, like I know you guys could play any big room. So just to have something like intimate and like more like punk hardcore vibe, it was awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man. It's really cool, and it's true. It's like it is such a double edged sword to like when a band does get big, and because you want them to, but then you're like, oh, this was my thing, and I think it's how you do it. Like we're not trying to sacrifice what we have now for like money or whatever. You know what I mean? Like so, I think that's kind of why we gravitate towards that. Still, it's just the music comes first, and the shows are wild. And as the shows get bigger, they get kind of whacker. Like the barricades got to come in, and the security guards are dicks. But I don't know. I'm just loving the ride. I'm just here. It's been fun.
Yeah, no, I think it's awesome that you can enjoy it in real time and not have to take it too serious and do bigger
Exactly.
stuff,
Yeah.
because it when like it becomes like a business thing, it gets a little
Straight
weird.
up.
So
Yeah, that's straight up. That is. Yeah, you sacrifice what you want to do for. Oh, we have to make a Instagram post today at noon about whatever. We got to wear this shirt. So none of that's gonna happen for sure. Knock on wood.
okay, and you mentioned Harry hit you up and you had some bands that he mentioned for influence, but can you talk about what inspires you to write the music for No Pressure?
Definitely pulling on my roots of like I grew up loving. I still do. Unashamed Blink-182 fan, and I remember specifically Tom DeLonge gave an interview and he was talking about he lists off all these bands. And said, well, I have to listen to them now, and it was Descendants, Saves the Day, Fugazi, and stuff like that. So I was like, oh my god, there's this whole world. Like as a young person, like I didn't know about quote unquote underground music, and so that blew the door open. I was like, Saves the Day should be on MTV too. Like I don't get it. But so for me, it was those bands growing up. Blink, I think the Descendants are crazy. Yeah, Descendants. Saves the Day's early records are kind of the blueprint a lot for No Pressure. Just super fast, but also catchy, aggressive, high energy. Stuff like that was really kind of my wheelhouse when I write stuff. So stuff like that.
And do you ever trip out that like you guys are kind of like at the top of this genre, influencing a lot of people. You have a lot of fans across the world. But do you ever like take a step back and like try to like look at the genre as a whole to see like what's currently going on? Because sometimes for this type of music, I definitely struggle to find new bands to get into because it's really hard to compete with like the bands that I loved growing up, like Newfound Glory, Starting Line, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, it is crazy to be in a position like that because I feel the same. Like I'll listen to a new band, I'm like, well, I could just listen to Sticks and Stones instead, or whatever. Like, because they're like, oh yeah, they're doing the Starting Line thing. It's like, yeah, but they're not doing the Starting Line thing, So to be able to kind of get some validation from people like you or other people that are, fans of the genre for years, it's like, damn, we kind of really did it. It's cool. And we got a shout out from Mark from Blink, which was all the validation I need. So
that's insane.
Anyone can say anything about me now. I don't care.
No, I think that's awesome, but it also shows that like for you guys to have been a band for not that long, but to have like a real strong impact to even get to someone's ears like Mark. I think that's awesome, but also just like insane too. Like when you step back and think about like who he is and like what he has done for this type of music.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like his band's reason I picked up a guitar in the first place. So kind of full circle moment there for me, for sure. And Harry and Parker, I'm sure as well. So it was really cool.
Now, have you had any like run-ins or interactions with him?
Not really. I haven't. Parker did a tour. Story did a tour with Blink in Europe recently, and he said he was really cool. When Blink came to Cleveland, actually, with the Turnstile tour that just happened, Harry was with me in Cleveland, and like he was talking to Turnstile backstage. I had left, and Mark like walked by, and he's like, "Hey, like I'm in No Pressure." Mark was like, "Oh, sick!" Like, and they talked for a minute, and I was like, "Damn!" But just he knows who I am, right? He knows me.
He has to.
Yeah, through proxy. He doesn't know it yet, though.
Okay, and is it crazy too? And this is me. The kids would call it glazing, but I'm seriously just such a fan. But when you look at what No Pressure has done, and like I said, in this short amount of time, it's insane, right? Like you guys have played every like major hardcore festival. You guys have literally like toured the world, and it seems like you're about to do it again. Like does it like blow your mind? Like how do you take it all in? Because I feel like it's a lot.
Dude, it's so like rewarding to kind of, because I'm old. I'm like an old guy.
Okay.
Especially if you saw me in 2012, you know this. But and kind of like going through everything I did with Light Years and like touring and grinding, and not really seeing like, not like no benefits, but like it was rough. And so you do No Pressure. I'm really like making myself like appreciate it. Like kids are at the shows. I'm like having the best time. Getting to go to these places, like dude, going to South America, like that is insane. I didn't think I'd ever actually go there, let alone to play shows that were awesome. Playing, we play Sound and Fury, and it's sick because it was like an awesome reaction. You know what I mean? It wasn't just like, oh, we played at like 3 p.m. No one was really, you know what I'm saying? Like it was like awesome. Same for FYA last year. It was so cool. But yeah, it's really, I'm really like forcing myself to be like, all right, man, like embrace this because you know what the other side's like. So I do. I think I feel the same. I think Harry feels the same. Like Regulate's always been doing their thing, and sometimes I feel like they didn't get the credit they deserve. So it's kind of cool to see, to have this moment, because who knows how long it'll last. It's pretty, bands come and go, so we'll see. But as of right now, I'm taking it all in. I love anyone that comes to dap me up. It's crazy, so I'm having a great time.
Yeah, and if I can say this, before I talked to you in Bogota, like anytime anybody brought your name up, it was always like, Pat is such a nice guy. Like he's really awesome. And, you hear that, and sometimes you might catch somebody on a bad day or whatever, but maybe I just got lucky. But when I talked to you in that hallway, like leaving the venue, I was just like, okay, this is everything I've ever heard about him. So this is awesome. So I was very happy with our first interaction in person.
Damn. Well, I appreciate it. I try to be, like I said, anyone that wants to, say what's up and is part of this community, it's like, I'm very grateful for it. And do you ever get like when someone's like, oh, that dude's awesome, you like automatically hate them? Does that ever happen? Sometimes I'm like, everyone likes this guy, he sucks.
No,
sometimes I fear that might be happening.
No, I don't automatically hate them, but it I'll start to get skeptical, right? Because I'm like,
right,
yeah. I was like, is this person like a people pleaser, or is he like really that nice, or like what's going on? Because I feel like on the way up, you gotta get some haters, but to meet somebody that is like beloved by everybody is like really rare, and for it to like be like true love,
Yeah.
But maybe that's you.
I don't know. Maybe, dude. Maybe. Probably not. I got some haters. They're hiding.
Well, good luck, because it's gonna be hard to stop you. But I'm curious. No pressure is awesome, but I want to put a pause on that. Are you at all tapped in with like the local like hardcore scene where you're from?
Yeah. I definitely don't get out as much as I used to. I apologize to everyone, but I have been noticed. Like Cleveland is kind of popping right now. I think Ohio in general has like some cool bands coming out. We got a shout. There's a label my friend Vlad does called Delayed Gratification Records, and he does a lot of cool stuff for Cleveland. A lot of cool bands. There's band Slug I really like.
Mm-hmm.
Live It Down. They're from Cleveland. They're doing straight up Cleveland style. Yeah, they're cool. There's a lot going on. So, but like I said, I also like when I'm home, I work at my homie's pizza shop. So like on the weekends is when they need me to work. So sometimes I'm not out in time to see the HC gig, but it's pretty good in Cleveland. If you ever make it out here, man.
I want to. Like I'm a huge fan of Live It Down. There's a newer band from the area called Frenzy. If you're not familiar, you should check them out.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure Nick Baker, who plays drums in like Pain of Truth. Yeah. And Life's Question is in that. I'm wrong. He could at least recorded it.
Yeah, no, he definitely recorded the record.
Okay, yeah. Shout out Nick.
Yeah, super talented. People who may not know that Nick is a talented, producer. I guess that's fair to call him.
Yeah.
Have him record your band. He's sick.
Yeah, he's an Ohio head. He was in an old pop punk band that would play with Light Years, and so we kind of reconnected again later. It's cool to see him doing it. So I think he told me his first live performance was with Light Years. I could have lied, Nick. I'm sorry if you're listening to this, but I'm gonna take credit for that.
All right, that's sick. And have you ever had anybody like recognize you at the pizza shop?
Dude, one time I like was cashing a kid out, and he just goes, "I know who you are, man." And I was like, "Okay, it'll be 1785." Like I don't know what you want me to do. Like, sorry, you should have bought more records. I wouldn't have to be here. But I mean, it's the shop is my friend from high school. He opened his own shop, and it's dope. Shout out Ohio Pie Company if you're ever out here. But it's pretty cool. So a lot of people know him and me that I work there. So in Cleveland, I don't know, our friends.
But that's all the kid said was, "I know who you are." Didn't ask for like a photo or an autograph or anything.
I was just like, "Oh, thanks." Like I didn't know what that was. So like, I didn't know what he wanted. I was like, "This pizza's good. Don't worry, I didn't spit in it." But I don't know. It's cool.
I'm interested in pizza because the best
Yeah, it's
pizza I've ever
good.
had was in Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania.
Angelo's,
Oh, Jerry's.
Jerry's, which is very similar.
Yeah, no,
I've
it's the
had them
same.
both.
It's like
Yeah,
the same recipe, right? There's like a weird rivalry, but either or.
yeah.
Like I could go to Angelo's. I prefer Jerry's, but amazing
Okay,
pizza.
dude. So the dude, my friend that opened the shop, used to tour with Light Years, and so he basically he kind of ripped off Angelo's sauce or Jerry's. So we
Okay,
had like a sweet sauce pizza, but it's not the same. He does he calls it Ohio style.
okay,
So he made his own fucking pizza style, and
that's awesome.
people like it's good. I think. Have you ever had Jets?
No, I'm not familiar.
Okay, it's a little thicker. So we kind of mashed like Angelo's style Wilkes-Barre with Detroit with his own spin on it. It's really good, but I'll get you some if you come out.
Okay, now
Yeah,
I got to get out there because
yeah, that's a
when
live it down show.
whenever I eat pizza out here in California, I just like think this is nowhere near Jerry's, but it's like okay. So I'm just like
Yeah,
dying to get back out there. I'll be back out there later this summer, but like it's such a great pizza, and I felt like so cheated the first time I had it because I was like, wow, this has existed like the whole time I've been alive, and I just had it.
exactly.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember like the first time I went to Angelo's, I was like, "What? I've never had pizza that tasted this good." So it's definitely my top pizza spots for sure. I love
Okay.
it.
And is Ohio known for any like particular food? I'm trying to think now.
I wouldn't like Cleveland. We have there's like a pretty big like Polish community, I think, and we have it's not like they call it a po' boy, but it's not like the one in New Orleans. It's like a sausage thing, and I haven't had it, but I don't think we got a lot of good food, but I don't know. I actually recently last year started eating meat for the first time in like 16 years, so I'm experiencing all these new foods. I'm going crazy.
Wow,
Just eating.
that's a long time to not
It
have.
was yeah, it was too long. Now
And
that I've tasted steak,
is it okay to ask why you decided to go back? Or
it was honestly like I had kind of been toying with the idea. I was like, I could eat like chicken or something, and then did no pressure did like a full. We did Japan, Australia, and Southeast Asia, and I was like, I'm gonna want to eat some shit there, and like they were talking up like this spot in Japan with the wings. I was like, all right, I definitely have to do it. I just have to experience it, and then I brought it home with me, and I've been eating Chick-fil-A like crazy, so it's not gonna stop.
Chick-fil-A, yeah, I hate that. Whenever I want it, it's like Sunday. It's like
It's
this weird
Sunday,
thing where
yeah.
I'm just like, because there's one like literally like around the corner for me, but it's a mission because it's just always so packed. No matter
Yeah.
which way you try to get it, if you order it through the app, if you go inside, if you get through the drive-through, it's crazy.
Yeah, people are crazy about Chick-fil-A. We've had them for a while, and I'd never had it until recently, but it's super good. I really like Cane's too. I don't know if you mess with that.
Yeah,
Pigeon
Cane's is
Cane's.
awesome. That sauce is out of this world. I don't know.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was one of my first meals eating meat. I was like, we were in LA, like leaving. I was like, I'm gonna get Cane's, and I was like, yeah, this is where it's at.
But going back to Japan, were those when you ate those wings? Was it like?
Oh, dude, there's a place there called Yamachan, and they're known for their like chicken wings, and they were like, I guess it's like you call it a dry rub. They're not, they're like really salty, peppery, and I could eat 100 of them right now if they were here. So shout out Yamachan.
All right, I got to get to Japan at some point. I still,
Dude, you'd love it.
Yeah, I used to be obsessed with like Japanese culture. Like in high school, I took Japanese class to like learn the language for like 3 years, and I was just so I was like so obsessed with it until I dropped out of college. Because even in college, I like took Japanese. But I wasn't happy with like the like college program because they like try to tell me that I had to take another language to get the degree, and I argued that it was pointless to learn a third one because I was never going to use it because I only wanted to speak Japanese and English, and I was just like a young stubborn kid. But I feel like once I dropped out, I kind of like lost like the lust for like the culture. Like I still appreciate it. I still watch anime, play video games and stuff, but it's not like as like intense as it was when I was younger.
Yeah, for sure. I feel you. Yeah, higher ed, man. College is scam. You know?
Yeah.
But Japan is dope, dude. It's really the cleanest place I've ever been. Like Tokyo is the biggest city in the world, and there's just no trash. It's wild. It's just very respectful people, I think, and the bathrooms are amazing. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
Anywhere you go,
I'll get out there one day. Like I had a trip
Yeah.
planned, bring you back to 2020. Me and my buddy Johnny had a trip planned in October of 2020, but we had to get our flights, canceled because COVID and everything. So it just messed up everything and just never had a chance to rebook it.
They were pretty crazy with COVID over there. I think like when we went in January of 2023, I think the dude Mizuki that does Ice Grills and brought us over was like, we're the first tour to happen for him since COVID. So they were locked down for a while, which makes sense. They're like a tiny little island, and like everyone was still masked up fully, and we were like, "Ooh, we feel weird," you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, weird times, but that's awesome. I definitely got to get out there. But can you talk about what that was like? Was that a trip to hear that from him? That you guys were like the first band since like COVID and all that?
Yeah, he was really worried. Like I remember because you go through immigration and stuff, and he was worried that they were gonna be like, "No, you can't come in," the border. But once we got through, it was awesome. The shows were crazy. It's just like such an awesome culture over there where people are very kind, and like we've been to Europe a million times, like, not a million, but even in light years we went a couple times, and like it's really cool. Like, but the culture shock of Japan is so extreme because like some people don't really speak English at all, and like you have to kind of respect it and get through a conversation like, oh, I don't really know what you're saying, but like in Europe everyone still kind of can speak English, but so Japan is cool, and I like that because I feel weird when I go to another country and I'm like, hey man, what's up, like can I get a coffee, like I feel bad sometimes. So Japan's cool because they're like, yeah, we're not gonna fucking speak. Everyone's not speaking English here, like a lot of them do, and they're very good at it because they're very smart. But the culture shock is crazy over there, and like certain incidents where I couldn't really communicate, but it was cool. The shows were really fun. Had a great time. But yeah, that's why I've been trying to learn. I've been doing Duolingo for 480 days, dude. I'm trying to learn Spanish, and I was practicing in Colombia, dude. You should have seen me. People were fucking laughing at me. I sucked.
Yeah, well, I feel like that's the best way to get out there and actually, try to speak it with the local people.
I was having Carlos was trying to teach me from Raw Brigade, so he would help me through. So it was nice of him to humor me. But that's my goal, is to learn another language. I want to do Spanish. You'll do Japanese, and we're good, man.
All right. Then I'll actually live out my childhood dream of being a translator. I'll be a translator in Japan.
Is it a hard language to learn? It sounds crazy.
No, dude, when you think about the English language, like Japanese is not hard at all.
Damn. The like reading and stuff, like I can't even.
Oh, like the characters. It gets a little complicated because there's like three like character sets. There's like hiragana, and then katakana, which is like more for like foreign words, and then like the kanji. That's where it gets a little difficult because like you have like one symbol like meaning like a bunch of different things.
Yeah.
So that's where it gets a little complicated. But I was I felt like I was more focused on just like being able to speak it versus like reading or writing.
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
Oh.
Yeah, it seems crazy. You got to go for the food is crazy there, like the freshest sushi I've ever had, obviously, and the ramen places. There's a place specifically I remember called Tiger Ramen. It was awesome. So,
going to Colombia, because out here, like living in Southern California, like traveling to Mexico, even though it is like a different country, it isn't like that different from America. For us here in Southern California, so going to Mexico, it just feels like we're going to like LA or something, not that different. So going to Colombia, that was like a culture shock, because one thing that I didn't even like prepare for or even hear about. Like nobody even mentioned this to me, but this like just the food, everything tasted different.
Yeah.
And I was like, damn, I was like, living in America probably like messed up like my taste buds, just like with all like the weird chemicals and how everything is like, processed out here. Cause like the only time I ate anything that tasted normal was Papa John's. For some
There you
reason,
go. Yeah, right
Papa
by the
John's
menu.
tasted the same. But even like the American chains that we went to, like we had McDonald's, we went to Domino's, none of that tasted like it does in the States. And it was just so weird. And I was just dumbfounded the whole time. Like every time I was going to eat something, I was like, oh, I wonder what this is going to taste like. Cause I have an idea what it's going to taste like, but it's definitely not going to be that. So it was like a very, very interesting thing that I was definitely not prepared for.
Yeah, for sure. I definitely think they have, probably better quality food. If you want to say like, our stuff is crazy. I think tasting like Carlos took us to a place that did. It was like these plantains and this pork belly, rice, beans. It was so awesome. It kept me full for like the whole day, But I don't really get that here. Maybe I just don't overlook yet now that I eat meat.
Who knows? Yeah, the one thing that stuck out to me is we went to McDonald's and like the buns actually like felt and tasted like real bread versus like here in America. I don't know what they're using out here.
Yeah, styrofoam.
Yeah, but okay. Getting back to No Pressure, I'm just curious about like the naming of like the EP and the LP. It's like the same name was just the band's name, which I thought was interesting, kind of bold. But is there a reason that you guys didn't go with like a proper title outside of the band's name?
I think I'm trying to remember the discussion, but like because we just did the EP, we didn't really know what was going to happen if there was going to be an LP. But then I think Park was like, we'll just call it the LP, and I was like, yeah, that's pretty cool, So if we do, in the future, we'll probably have to think of a different name than LP2. But yeah, it was kind of just like no pressure. This is it, no gimmicks, no little name, or you know what I'm saying? Like just yeah, it was kind of just putting it out there as no pressure. This is it. But yeah.
And with like the popularity of the band rising, was it hard to kind of like pick and choose like who to like work with? Because I know you guys put out some singles and reached out to or I don't know if you reached out, but started working with labels instead of doing it all yourself. Was that a difficult thing to kind of navigate since you guys were a newer band with a lot of popularity?
So it was kind of like we have between all the members of the band, we have a lot of experience in the in the world and meeting people through, music and stuff. So it was kind of like, well, like we knew Sam Triple B, and it was kind of a no brainer when he agreed to do the vinyl, just because he's like someone we know and trust. And then as far as like recording, we went with the dude that did the LP was a guy that his name is Ben Hirschfield, who recorded demos for Story, Parker's Known Him Forever, Up in the Bay. So he was in an awesome band called First to Leave. If you ever want to check them out, I feel like they didn't get too crazy. They played in Cleveland once. I love them. But anyway, side note. So it was kind of like, people we knew, friends, like the EP recorded in Cleveland with my homie that we knew, Dave Pytek. And then we did a single. We went out to in New Jersey. John, he plays bass in the Avalanche, and he was in Such Gold, so we've known him forever. So it was like just we were trying to keep it with the friends and people we trust. Even now we have a friend that helps us with booking stuff when Harry's not feeling it. So it's mostly just a tight group of people that we already knew and trusted, because we did get hit. Obviously our email was kind of like, hey, sign to this, do this, and we were like, no, we're just gonna keep it people we know and trust. So that's kind of the goal of the whole thing. So even when we book a show, it's like, I know this dude here, we'll go through him. Harry knows everybody. So he's like, we got this dude. You know what I mean? So it's been pretty sweet that way.
Yeah. And I would agree too. Like I said, just from a fan like perspective and just following the band, it seems like you guys are just on this awesome path, and because sometimes it seems like bands will get popular, maybe signed to a label they shouldn't have, or taking a tour that didn't work out so well in hindsight. But it just seems like you guys have managed so far to just have this like awesome trajectory.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I think it also helps, like, this isn't our first band. So, like, I mean, Parker's seen everything that can possibly happen, I feel like, with
Hmm.
Story's career. And so, like, he's a very good guide of, like, well, that would be really whack. And, like, obviously Harry is pretty entrenched in the HC community, so he's like, not trying to be also, for lack of a better term, whack. But and so there's kind of a conscious effort to not be, not fall into the same pitfalls that we've seen bands do years and years, all the time. So I think kind of having the experience of knowing that has helped No Pressure a lot too. And we're all on the same page. We're not trying to, step on each other's toes or do anything crazy. So, and it's always been, even with writing songs, like if one person's like, I'm not feeling that one, it's not like a fight. We're just like, okay, cool, moving on, So yeah, I think it's going good.
100%. And I feel like it's like if you can be a band in like the hardcore scene that's not like a traditional hardcore band, but manage to get the support of like the scene in general, that's like an amazing thing, because the support will definitely uplift and boost and be a great tool, because obviously there's people who know about No Pressure, who are fans of No Pressure, that don't come from the hardcore scene. So
Yeah.
I feel like just having that solid base is just like a really great thing, and can like help spread the word, because it's like kind of becomes like, oh, okay, like it's like a cool thing to wear like a No Pressure shirt at a hardcore show where you guys aren't like a traditional like hardcore band.
Yeah. It is truly crazy, because to get accepted in, the hardcore community is really cool, because, there always was space for, I think, melodic bands. When I was coming up, it was, Saves the Day, Set Your Goals, was doing the same thing. Like, they were
Yeah.
singing kind of. So it's like, there is a room there, but you can't, as soon as like the community sniffs like fakeness, it's like, okay, these guys are whack, like, which is, I know why, I'm drawn to hardcore music and the scene, but it's like, so at the same time, it's going to keep us in check. Like, yeah, like, this is where we came from. We're not doing anything crazy, but yeah, it feels great to get, accepted, but we're getting to play all the fests, it's just really cool. I love it. And we tried to, like, when we did our headline tour, it was a quick US run, we brought out Illusion, because it's like, that's a hardcore band, like, through and through. And it's like, some kids that only know No Pressure from, however they found it, or may never have heard music like that. So it's like, hand in hand, kind of like hardcore bands help us out, we can try and help them out, see what happens.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome, because I feel like the style of music that No Pressure is, you guys can just fit with like any type of hardcore show, because
Yeah.
obviously there's like tons of subgenres of hardcore, and there's always like these interesting mixed bills. But I feel like just with like the type of energy and the music that you guys bring, I feel like you can fit in, but also not make it weird.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, it was crazy. Like, one of our first tours was overseas, was with Tsunami. And I was like, they're like, couldn't be further from No Pressure sound. And
Yeah.
it just worked. And like, the kids were cool. Like, no one, and I was worried that everyone's going to get beat up before we played, but they were loving it. And, the kids moshing hard for Tsunami were stage diving for us. And, it's pretty cool to see. So that's been awesome.
Yeah, you guys are able to bring that energy, and yeah, like I said, it's just awesome music. But I'm curious about the social media. There's no like official Instagram of No Pressure.
Yeah, that was kind of a conscious effort. It was like, we're just not going to have one. And then we made a website to be, like the 90s. But so a kid picked it up for us. Basically, he just was posting a lot, and people will tag him, like, being like, "Hey man, come to Atlanta." But it's some kid, And he's always like, I'm not the band. I just repost stuff, it was just cool to see. I like looking at it. But
Yeah,
yeah,
no.
we were trying to keep away from, doing that once again, like the same thing bands do, like, hey, low ticket. I don't know. Come out and see us at Hot Topic. Whatever. So, or like being like, I don't know. Just that whole thing. We didn't want to have it be a part of it, which maybe hurts us, but I don't really care. So, because it is the number one way to take in stuff these days, right? It's social media.
Yeah.
But once again, not trying to be a
100%.
business, Yeah, trying to be a band.
Yeah, but it's also a trip too, right? Because it's like you would think that it's like super necessary these days to have social media for your band, or things might not work out, but you guys don't have any. You guys have the website, which is nice, right? It's like a little professional, but to not have social media, but to still be super successful, I think that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is kind of funny, but I mean, like we all personally post a lot, so maybe it's besides the point, but because how many times does like a band announce something that you like fuck with and follow, and it's like, okay, they post it, their label posts it, every member post. You see it like 45 times before the night's over, and I'm like, now I don't want to fucking listen to it, dude.
Yeah, but you'd be surprised sometimes. I miss stuff, right? Because like as much as like we're on social media, like sometimes things might get through the net and we might not see it. So I feel like even though it might be annoying, but I don't think it hurts.
It definitely doesn't. I back anyone doing their thing. I can't hate on it. It's cool. But yeah, we just never did it. Now I think it's too late. So
yeah, just let and the guy's name's Daniel Wong.
Okay, shout out Daniel. He's holding it down.
Shout out Daniel for holding it down, doing a great job.
He posts cool stuff. Yeah, he like curated it. It's like only filmed now or something. He said, so that's cool.
Okay. And we're here. Still early part of the year. Do you guys have any plans for new music for 2024?
I think the plan is to try and get some more music for sure. We're gonna try and figure it out. Parker's gonna be doing stuff too. I think Story's about to do some things, so no spoilers. But it's a good time to work on new songs, and I would love to get more music out there. So that's definitely on the agenda for sure.
And would you want it to be? I apologize if this is too early, but is it like, would you want it to be like an EP or an LP? Have you even had any kind of thoughts like that?
I think, like the way we kind of would approach it, and before, like we're just gonna start jamming songs, and if we get enough for an LP, I feel like we should, but I would be fine with an EP, But kind of see how the songs pan out. At this point, it's a little too early to tell, I think, but. The writing process for No Pressure has always been so easy and smooth, so I don't see any hiccups coming, knock on wood. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Definitely trying to do new music though, for sure.
Okay, I welcome all new music from No Pressure, because it's all been good so far. So I'm definitely looking forward to whatever you guys put out in the future. But you guys are going to Australia for a tour, in like the middle of March. Can you talk about how that all came together, and are you excited to do that tour? And is there like any supporting acts, or is it just you guys just playing these shows throughout Australia?
So we got asked to do there's like a 3-day fest that's happening. It's like Touche Amore, Citizen, us, Fleshwater, and some other bands. It's happening in like 3 cities. And so we're like, okay, yeah, we'll do that. It's not really like, truly our normal vibe for a show, because I think it's gonna be pretty big, obviously with that lineup. And so we're like, well, we'll tack on a couple extra shows of our own, smaller ones. So I loved Australia the first time we got to go. It was an amazing place. The weather obviously was crazy, the beaches, but the shows were sick. The kids were super fun, excited. So I'm excited for the fest. Back together with Citizen after 2012, and then the side shows we're doing, or like our own shows, are awesome. So yeah, it should be cool. I think it's called New Bloom Festival, and then we're doing some side shows at the same time.
And do you know who made that flyer for like the Australia run?
I don't, but it's sick.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I think it's an awesome flyer. So whoever did that, shout out to whoever you are.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Harry's once again masterminds all that. So it could have been Cheddar from Candy. I don't know. He did stuff for us before too, so I'm not sure. But Harry's got his guys.
Okay, and well, traveling down to Australia in March. Do you ever want to just take a break and not be super active, just because you guys are a pretty active band?
Yeah, but I'm kind of getting that break right now. Like after South America, we don't have anything until March, so I've been chilling at home, working again, hanging with my cat. So another couple of weeks, I'll be ready to play shows again. So it's been fun, but it's nice being home. This year doesn't seem to be super packed with tours, though. Hopefully we'll just get to do cool shit again and see what happens. Write some new music, see where we can go. But yeah, it is nice being home.
Okay, and I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you guys aren't really doing much since Bogota. I guess that is a nice break. Gives us a chance to miss you guys.
There we go. Yeah.
And in terms of writing new music, is that something you can do on the road, or do you like to be at home or in the studio?
There was a couple times, like, if we were just jamming out a sound check, like someone would hit a riff that was cool. But for the most part, yeah, I'd like to be at home and kind of sit down and record it on my laptop and send it to everybody and see if they hate it. But yeah, I find being at home a little better. On tour, there's too many distractions. I want to go get food, watch the other bands, hang out with people. So I'm not too diligent on the road.
Yeah, no, I get that. Even like when I went to Bogota, I brought my laptop because I was like, I'm gonna get ahead of editing for the podcast, and I think I might have like done like 5 minutes of editing, but I was like sitting next to like the giant windows that like overlooked like the part of the city that I was in, and I was like, I don't want to sit here and edit. I want to go explore. I want to like hang out with like my friends and do other shit.
Yeah, 100%. That's how it happens. It's like, oh, I'm definitely gonna do this. No, I'm definitely gonna work out on tour. I'm just gonna eat McDonald's.
Yeah, I'm still tripping out. You bring up Set Your Goals. That band was crazy.
Dude, that band was awesome, right?
Yeah, they had like had this like crazy wave, and I remember like seeing them at like do you remember Bamboozle?
Oh wow, yeah, that was in New Jersey, right?
Well, they did a Bamboozle left for a couple of years, so we got it. I think one year it was in Pomona, but then like the crazy year they did it in Irvine, which is like in Orange County, and I thought that was better than like Warped Tour, because Warped Tour was in the summer, it was really hot, but like Bamboozle was like in like the middle of the year where like the weather was still nice, and it was just just a way better environment.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's really cool. Yeah, I never got to go to that. Harry went to a couple he always talks about, but yeah, the lineups are always crazy for Bamboozle.
Yeah, they were trying to bring it back like I think it was like last year or 2 years ago, but it just didn't really work out for some weird reason.
Yeah, I don't really know. I guess it was something to do with like money, or I don't know. But it looked like it was going to be crazy, and then just didn't happen. So that's usually some sketchiness.
Yeah, because when like I don't know, like these days when like and like they're not a new festival, or like obviously they had like have a history, but for them to like pop back up out of nowhere and like have these like crazy announcements, I was like, I wonder if this is actually gonna happen.
Yeah, I wonder how many people bought like hotels and stuff and tickets, and were like, shit. Maybe it was early enough they could cancel, but yeah, didn't look like it worked out.
Yeah, that stuff is pretty crazy. But do you enjoy like, because obviously like hardcore festivals are one thing, but to like play something like big like that's not like really a hardcore fest, is that something that you enjoy?
So we did in October, we played that thing. It was called When We Were Young Fest in Vegas, and that was definitely not like a normal decision. We kind of thought about it a little bit, but Blink was playing and Green Day, so we're like, all right, we gotta play. And it's in Vegas. I fucking love Vegas. And that was a typical music fest. barricade, weird bands playing, like the whole 9 yards. And I had a great time. The show, I mean, obviously playing was a little different because we were on super tall stage and like there was like a TV screen and stuff. But like our bass player AJ kind of said it best. He's like, yeah, we'll just go do our thing at this weird fest, and like have fun. And so that kind of changed the vibe up for me. Like, oh, don't worry about it. Like, we're not going out there trying to be, whoever the hell was playing after us, Girls Like Boys or something. You know what I mean? They're some band like that. So we're just like, all right, we're doing our thing and it's what we do. And it was fun. I definitely prefer the other vibe, but it was cool to get to be there. And I had so many friends there, and it was in Vegas and lost a lot of money. So it was a good time. And Blink played 2 nights. It was sick. So I loved it. But the actual playing is always a little awkward when you're that far removed from the crowd. And, our type of music specifically is very crowd interactive. And I mean, hardcore always is, but we did it. We did our thing. I think it was fine.
Yeah. And were you even like paying attention to like the like crowd reaction to you guys? Because I'm sure there was like, people there who knew No Pressure and who are, are fans of No Pressure, but obviously, a lot of people that probably like have no idea.
Yeah, it was funny because I don't know why they do this, but like, so half the crowd, like on the left side, was general admission people. And then they had the VIPs were in this like front right corner. And that corner was like dead, like just kind of random people wandering by. But the general admission dudes were like moshing and trying to crowd surf and singing along, which is funny. I wish it was more, they were the whole front, but it was cool. It was still fun. And yeah, I had a good time. Someone made a No Pressure shirt actually and threw it on stage. And I was like, damn, that's cool. It was a guy.
Oh, I wasn't even thinking.
Yeah, it was a fine.
That's funny. Did any guys keep it, or where is that shirt?
Yeah, I have it. I have it somewhere. He like took our picture off the Spotify and just put on a shirt. It's cool.
Yeah, that's cool. Sometimes it can be corny, but I feel like for someone to take the effort, because they're such a fan, to do something like that, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, I love that shit. Because sometimes the bootlegs are cool, they look sick.
Yeah, no, dude, I go to these K-pop concerts, and that's a thing, right? There's like, because like obviously the merch inside's so overpriced, right? Because I have a buddy who like has a hand in like doing merch for some of these groups that I go and see, and I'll hit him up. I'm like, dude, like, what is this printed on? And he'll tell me like what blank they used, and we just laugh at how crazy the market is, but I get it, right? Yeah. Like, it's like, these crazy, super popular artists, but we're paying for these like whack garments. Like there's like, hardcore bands doing like higher quality stuff than some of these like crazy tours, but I get it. They have to like mass produce and cost whatever. But when you're leaving and you see some of these bootlegs, you're like, wow, these are like way more fun than some of like these, simple designs that they had to like mass produce.
Yeah, that's awesome. Do you know Jared from Regulate? You ever talk to him? He's a big K-pop guy. That's the only reason I'm bringing it up.
Oh yeah.
Maybe J-pop. I don't know.
I know Jared. He's awesome. I've tried to get him to come on the podcast before, but he likes.
He barely talked in real life.
Yeah. I honestly feel like the first time I've never told this story publicly, so maybe he'll get a kick out of this. But I feel like the first time I saw him, I feel like I scared him off because I saw him in New Jersey. Regulate played at Copa, and it was like the first time I've seen him like since we started like following each other on Instagram or whatever. So I remember the show was over and we were outside, and I was just like bombarding him with like K-pop talk, right? Because I don't have that many friends that are like into it or who really like it like him. So I was just like excited to talk to him about it. But then he had to like go inside to like get like some of his equipment. But when he came outside, he like crossed the street, and I felt like he was like avoiding me because I was just being so annoying about talking about K-pop, and I was dying. But we talked in Bogota. He's awesome, and
he's a man.
Yeah,
but it was crazy. Like he just unabashedly loves that shit. It's sweet. I fucking back it. And Red Bull.
Oh yeah, and Red Bull. Yeah. So
this is Jared's section.
I would love to have Jared on the podcast. He knows that the door is always open for him to come on. So whenever he's ready, I'm down to do it.
Yeah, that's dope. He's awesome.
Yeah, but K-pop's sick. But yeah, like I said, boots are sometimes fun. But
Yeah. Yeah.
but I always wonder too, because like these bootleggers are definitely in tune, because they you know, for them to have all the like merch like produced and ready for these concerts, I'm always curious like how much money that they make.
Yeah, I actually wonder that too, especially like on a big level, like outside like a Green Day concert or some shit. You know, like they got to make a lot of shirts. Even like when you go to like a sporting event, there's bootleg guys. I'm like, damn, they've got to be making money. I don't know.
Yeah,
I always heard the story of the Bridge 9 dudes doing the Yankees suck shirts or something at Boston games, and like they made so much money, like back in whenever that was, early 2000s. So there's got to be money in it.
Yeah,
if you don't get arrested.
So you were on Bridge 9?
No, I just remember there was like a story.
Okay.
Of like they were telling, I saw somewhere.
Yeah,
but I was on the Bridge 9 board.
Yeah, the B9 board is like a crazy like time for a hardcore, because to this day there's not anything like it, right? Because like people have like Discords and like Facebook groups or whatever, but like the B9 board was like this like crazy like hub for like the scene.
Yeah, it was insane. Like it was like kind of like the first like memes I saw were on there. You know what I mean? Like there was like inside jokes happening all the time and bad stuff too. But
yeah, cool. There's oh my god, the amount of controversies is just like
yeah,
crazy. But yeah, but it was always weird too, because like that's where like I like first like heard about people like Benny B-roll and finding out that like people in hardcore actually liked MMA. So like just like because I'm a huge fan of MMA, but I didn't know that like these two worlds like crossed. So it was cool. Like for all the bad, there was a lot of good too.
Yeah. We had a Cleveland message board too that was similar bad, but I think it got scrubbed from the internet. Hopefully. So
yeah, there's well yeah, and Reddit is popular too. I can't forget about the hardcore subreddit, which is always pretty interesting.
Yeah, I usually only see the like screenshots someone will post of like something stupid, so I try not to go on there.
Yeah, if I'm being honest, like I'll go kind of pop in to see what's going on, and I'm always like wondering like where are these hardcore kids from, because it seems that they're talking about like the weirdest stuff.
Really. That's cool. Whatever. Buy a shirt.
Yes. Buy a shirt. I was curious too, in Bogota and like pricing your guys' merch. How do you guys do that? When you go international?
So normally I'll try to like ask the promoter or whoever, like, what's the going rate here? Or like, I'll be like, okay, look, we normally would get $20 or 25 at US. So what's the exchange rate there? But in Bogota specifically, everything was so cheap, for people. So like I priced it and I was like, oh, this would be like a $20 shirt at home. And like Carlos was kind of like, yeah, that's like maybe a little too much, but like they'll buy it for no pressure. And I was like, I felt bad. I was like, I don't want to, like trying to rip people off just because we're, headlining this day. So if a kid came up and was like, like they were like haggling with me, which was sick. So I was like, yeah, like whatever you got, man, I got you. I don't want to fly home with this shit. So, but most of the time I just try to ask like the local dudes. They obviously know better than I would, but, so you might take a hit on the merch money, but I don't really care. I gave them out for free to some kids that were like, I don't have any money, no dinero. I was like, I know what that means. Duolingo. But yeah, it was cool. Man, I think everyone was kind of doing that. Like all the bands around me, like they were just like, whatever you got, kid, which was cool.
Yeah, because I think I talked to like Avery from Cut Down, and like it's like he didn't want to fly home with any of the merch that he had either.
Yeah, he literally gave me a Never Again shirt, just like, are you an XL? I was like, yeah. I was like, thanks, man.
It's like, take it. I don't want to fly home with it.
Yeah, but it's cool, and it's also like get as much stuff as you can in another country. It's cool,
Yeah, because it's like free advertising, right? Like these kids are stoked to to have your merch, but also they're gonna wear it, and other people are gonna see it that might not know, and that's how you grow your audience.
Yeah, for sure. He's like, what is this shirt I keep seeing? So
Yeah, because when I was there, seeing other like or merch from other American bands, I was like, oh, cool. Because I don't know who's popular out in Bogota, so for them to like be
right.
wearing
Yeah.
shirts of bands that I just wouldn't have even thought of, I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is a good point. That's cool. Sometimes like in Europe, I'll always see shirts of like bands that from like a while ago. Like they're like a couple years behind us sometimes, but it's kind of neat to see.
Yeah, it's always interesting because first being here in the States, like I don't know how the other countries or the other scenes outside of here are consuming hardcore, right? Because I'm always curious about that, because I'll be stoked on one band, but it might not have like hit out there yet, or people might not even be into like that type of music.
Yeah, for sure. I know like a lot of we always I talked to someone in another country and they're like, oh, the Hate 56 video was crazy. You know what I mean? Like I think that is actually a huge thing for bands in other countries. Like because obviously like not every band's going to tour Japan, so like if they want to see a show of whoever, they got to watch it on someone on YouTube feed first, 856. So it's like I think that helps a lot now, especially these current shows and stuff. So I'll see that a lot, or people be like, "Yeah, you're set at whatever. We saw it on YouTube." So it's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a useful tool, and I think it's nice to be able to have like that documentation, because it's fun to be able to watch a band from like a certain era of their career. It's like, oh shit, like like you guys played Program, like before like
Oh yeah,
the LP was out, and go back and watch some of like my videos that I filmed from you guys at Program, and just hearing like all those older songs.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, that show was fun. That was cool. That spot is crazy that they have shows there.
yeah,
Like,
it's a
just a shop.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's definitely an awesome gem. So shout out to
yeah,
Chris from Program and my buddy Kenny. Yeah, it's wild. Anytime there's a show there, it's cool,
yeah,
because people understand that it's like a business on top
yeah.
of like being like this venue like after the business closes. So everyone is respectful,
That's
and
awesome.
yeah, and they appreciate it too. So yeah, it's definitely cool. So for bands to want to play it's awesome and an honor. But to be able to have that spot, yeah, it's really cool, because like again, like not a lot of, because like we have like a ton of venues in Orange County, right? We have like Chain
Sure.
Reaction, the Observatory, but they're all like a little more professional. So
Yeah,
to have something like Program
yeah.
that's like DIY, it's awesome.
Right. It's kind of becoming like a like a spot. Like people are like, oh, they're playing Program. Like I see the flyers. It's gonna be a legendary spot, dude.
Yeah, no, like there's so many big bands, that have played there. Like I think Turnstile played there during like the Nonstop Feeling era. They did like a crazy show like while they were on tour. It was like an off date, which was like super sick. And then when we look back at like you guys played there, but now you guys are doing like pretty awesome stuff. So it's cool. Yeah, for people. Oh, go ahead.
Did Newfound Glory play there?
Yeah,
Or was that somewhere?
yeah,
Yeah.
they played there.
That's sick.
Yeah, stuff like that is insane. And like Poison the Well just played there.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
shit. Damn. Yeah. Legendary spot, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I was sure about too, because it's just like, for me, it's like 15 minutes down the road, and it's like a place that I've been going to for years. So sometimes I forget like how people view it, and how special it is. But it's awesome.
I mean, that was always like Chain Reaction for me too. Like seeing videos from that, I was like, oh my god, this place is crazy. And then I show up and it's like pretty dingy
and
like,
super small, right? It's not as big
it's
as
way smaller than I thought. Like I was like, what? But it's still, I mean, I like Chain a lot. It's fun.
Yeah,
I want to get a shirt up there.
Yeah, it's nice and crazy too. Like when you look up and you see like a Fall Out Boy T-shirt on the wall, and you're like, oh wow, Fall Out Boy's played here.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good stage for HC shows, and any show really dives.
Yeah, I'm,
You
I'm
like jump
really.
off the wall and shit, you know? I was
Mhm.
like, damn, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm really curious about that plaza because like there's like these high rise apartments that are being built like right next door.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
so that whole
no.
area is like getting like gentrified, which is like
Uh,
pretty interesting.
yeah, that's the beginning of the end.
Yeah, but I always look at it. I'm like, all right, they have to get through like the like auto body yard before they hit
Yeah,
the chain reaction plaza. So
for
hopefully
sure.
the auto body people can like hold them off long enough to
There you
scare them
go.
away or
Yeah,
something.
for
Um,
sure.
yeah, but that plaza's been through like a whole lot. Like I think it was God, the timing is so weird. It was either last year or the year before. The shop next door to Chain Reaction is like a furniture store, and they got busted for like having like an illegal like gambling casino in the back. Yeah,
Damn.
they got raided, and there was like hella people getting arrested because there's like tons of like illegal gambling going on.
What
It
the
was it was
hell?
pretty wild because you look at it and you're like, oh yeah, this is just some weird like discount furniture store, but it was like a
Yeah,
front for
I
like this
remember like I walked
casino.
through it once and I was like, oh, weird. I guess that's probably how they pay their bills. Behind
Yeah,
the
because
fucking
rent is not cheap
poker.
here in Orange County. So
Oh, I can imagine, man. That's why I'm not leaving Cleveland, dude. Even though it's going up, but it's cheap. Cheaper than LA for sure.
and have you always lived in Cleveland?
Yeah, I grew up in a suburb a little bit, probably 20 minutes south, 25 minutes. And then I lived, there's another city in Ohio called Kent State University, where I was going to school for a minute, also dropped out, but then I ended up, I'm pretty close to Cleveland again. I'm in a town called Lakewood. So, yeah, but yeah, I don't really see myself leaving unless some big life changes happen, but you know, it's not too bad. It's like 5 degrees right now. Had a crazy snowstorm the other day.
5 degrees. Holy crap! That's
Dude, it sucks.
that's cold.
Yeah, yeah, but it's supposed to warm up again, and I don't know. Ohio's always pretty brutal in the winter, so I'm used to it.
Yeah, I'm not. I've never had to like experience that kind of cold. Like I've been to Pennsylvania in like the winter, but like I don't
There
think
you
it's
go.
that cold.
Yeah, there you go, man. That's it gets bad out there. I bet similar vibes.
Uh, Damn, 5 degrees. It's a like that kind of weather. Like you just stay inside, or is there even any thought
Oh
to go
yeah,
outside?
yeah. I mean, I'll go to work. We'll warm up my car for a half hour before I get out there. But yeah, we had a pretty brutal cold front. Usually we're hovering in like the 20s in the winter, so that was pretty. It's been pretty. We go back up to 34, I think, next week. So this week,
Okay.
so it will be
Yeah.
tropical, man. 30s.
Yeah, we're having weird weather right now in Orange County. There's like this like rainstorm that's like coming through, so it's been raining for like the past couple days.
Yeah, so it's 60 degrees instead of 72.
Yeah, actually,
Nice.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're in the 60s. It's like I like it, but man, it gets so like dangerous outside because people just forget how to drive. Like there's like when it just
Yeah.
starts to sprinkle, people just like
Really?
there's like accidents like everywhere. Like even just on like the normal city streets, not even like the freeways or anything crazy.
Damn. Yeah, at least people around here, most people know what they're doing, but knock on wood, sometimes they don't. Me.
Yeah,
But,
you gotta be just try to stay as safe as possible.
yeah. I'm chilling.
Okay, and I'm just curious, like for like older like pop punk bands, I'm just curious like what like you're into because you've mentioned a couple throughout the show, but I'm just curious, are there like any other ones that are like really influential for you that you haven't talked about?
Yeah, I really liked like Lifetime. I thought was crazy. I think was a huge one. There was this band, yeah, I mentioned before, the dude Ben. They're called First to Leave. They're from the Bay, Walnut Creek, actually. Small little connection there. I would check them out. I'd recommend them all the time. They're a very save the day vibe. The one record is called Forging the Future, and Fireworks I thought was awesome. Still awesome. I think they're coming back, but
Yeah,
that was my shit for sure.
great band. Yeah, they came out here and toured recently, but I was out of town.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they did a show in Cleveland and they asked Lightyears to play, so that was sweet. That was fun. Yeah, I was always huge into them. Motion City soundtrack. I think it's pretty cool for that. Kind of nerdy.
There's another band from Walnut Creek called This Time Next Year. Did you ever get into them?
Oh yes, dude. Yes. Their guitar player Brad is now he's a booking agent and he helps us out. So another full circle moment.
That's awesome.
They're dope.
Yeah. I feel like I like listen to them pretty regularly, and I'm just like, man, these songs are still so good.
Yeah, so it's crazy, like the bands that like I thought were awesome, and like just didn't really get the love. I thought that like similar time, like a band like I don't know when they were coming up with, but when you see a band like like All Time Low is like I remember when they first came through Ohio, they were just like a small pop punk band, and my friends like were into it, and I actually had never heard of them, but obviously I had now, but it's just weird, like that band gets huge. I don't know, maybe because they did the business moves, man. They didn't keep it core. So I don't know. But there are certain times I'm like, damn, like why didn't this catch on and this band did, but I don't know. But yeah, this time next year was sweet. Trying to see other bands at that time.
Yeah.
So old.
Did you ever get into like Hit the Lights?
Dude, Ohio, yeah. The first couple records are awesome. Lightyears got to do a tour with them once too. It was sick. But yeah, they're sick.
Yeah,
sure.
I love that band.
Yeah, that I love that first record. The one before Skip School.
Yeah, this is a stick up. Don't make it a murder.
Yes. They had the old singer. He was cool.
Yeah. When they were trying to find a new singer, I remember they did like this, I don't know if you call it like a vlog series or whatever on MySpace, but they're doing like these like series of videos where they're trying to find a new singer. But then it just ends up being the guitar player. And I was like, oh, wow, we went through this whole thing just to have the guitar player. But
it's just going to be this guy. That's cool. Yeah, he did good.
Yeah, but I wish I could have seen them with the original singer just because, I love that first record.
Yeah, they were sweet. They played in Cleveland a couple times. I got to see them back then. But
yeah, I remember when they were on their come up, they were it was like Hit the Lights, Cute Is What We Aim For, and Paramore, right? They were all on like the same level, getting pushed, and then obviously like Cute Is What We Aim For doesn't really get that hot, and then like Hit the Lights kind of falls off somewhere, but then Paramore just explodes.
Yeah, that's because they had Haley Williams and Hit the Lights did not.
Yeah, but it's crazy. Yeah, Paramore's chill. I like some of their records.
Oh yeah, I definitely like Paramore. I didn't really vibe with the new one, but the last one I thought was awesome.
Mm-hmm.
After Laughter, I think, or is that 2? I don't know.
Yeah, I think that was the last one. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I thought that was good.
Yeah, I've only seen them once. I saw them at Warped Tour.
Damn.
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
They just got like too big, where I'm just like, I'm not like the biggest fan of going to concerts, even though like I'll go to like the K-pop concerts, but that's like a little different. But like when it's like like the hardcore pop punk world, I'm like, when it gets a little too big, like I'll still support, but like getting me to go to a giant concert, it's like I just it's hard.
Yeah, I feel the same. It's tough, but I did go to Blink in a stadium, and it was dope, or an arena. It was cool.
I've never seen Blink.
Damn, dude, they're awesome.
I know.
They're not awesome, but that's why it's awesome. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got onto Blink like super late, like 2020 late. Yeah, because I had a buddy. Had a buddy from Milwaukee who was like super obsessed with Blink, and he had like the rabbit tattoo and all that. And I was like, like I know that they're popular, but I know I would probably like them because it's like right up my alley. But I just felt like I was always too late. But then like for some reason in 2020, like that's all I listened to was I just like dived into like the discography. So I listened to like everything Blink 182.
Yeah, that is true. Like if it's like, oh, this is. I'm already missed the train on this. I do get that vibe, but I think I did that with, I've done that with some bands before too. It's like, and people are like, yeah, dude, we know about Rancid,
Mm-hmm.
like, and I'm like, oh yeah, they're awesome. But yeah, they were sick. It was fun I'm glad Tom's back because the Skiba era was pretty dark, pretty bleak.
Are you not a fan of like Skiba or?
I like Trio a lot, and
Mhm.
but when he was in Blink-182, it did not work for me, and I was bummed. I was like, just stop, please.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Alkaline Trio. I like Matt Skiba, but yeah, I didn't want my first time seeing Blink to be with him, like no diss, but it's just like, yeah, I was like, hopefully maybe one day Tom will come back,
Yeah,
and he's back, so I'm like, all right, I gotta,
now's the time.
yeah, I gotta catch him at some point.
Yeah, now's the time for sure.
Yeah, I did see Travis Barker at Coachella last year. That was pretty crazy.
Oh shit! Nice.
Yeah, I was.
How was Coachella?
Coachella was cool. I
Yeah.
was on stage for Scal, and like like I was on like just like the side where like whatever, I was on like stage right, but then across the way like Travis Barker and like his like wife, or I think, and like her like sisters like came up, and it was just like, oh shit,
Damn.
like that's Travis Barker.
Kardashian squad. Yeah.
And like for him to show up early and to want to see Scal, I was like, that's awesome.
Yo, that is nuts. That is crazy. Yeah, he showed up to Sound of Fury, but I didn't see him.
Oh yeah,
Brendan.
I heard about that. Like there was like accusations that he like cleared the green room, but then like
yeah, I don't know. I was watching from the crowd, so I didn't know what happened, but he can do whatever he wants, man. It's Travis.
Yeah, he's done a lot, but Sound of Fury came out and said that accusation is false and that did not happen.
Okay.
So
oh yeah, see, yeah. He's pumped.
Yeah, he's with the people. Once I saw him at the Scal set, I was like, for him to have gotten up early and to get ready and to go out of his way to see them, I was like, all right, this guy is cool. He's the best.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah. I didn't know that. That's sick. Yeah, I saw him wearing like a Speed jersey or something and like a picture. I was like, dope.
Yeah, it's crazy, but also really cool seeing like these like celebrities like seeing like Post Malone repping like military gun.
Yeah, that's wild.
Yeah,
they're on Taco Bell commercials now.
They're playing Coachella this year.
Oh shit, that's right.
Crazy. Yeah. And I think they might be the only band from like our like bubble that like is playing this year, if I remember correctly.
Dude, the lineup for Coachella is always crazy because I'll know like the headliner and then like one random band. I'm like, I don't know any of this. Like, insane.
Yeah,
and it makes like the biggest fest ever.
Yeah, it makes me feel like do I even really listen to music? Because like when I went last year, I saw Scal, right? Because friends with them, I like their music, so I saw Scal, and then the only other person that I wanted to see was like the headliners, like Blackpink. But from like Scal to Blackpink, I did not know anybody.
Yeah, that's crazy. Damn, was that the year? Did Knock Loose play last year too, or was that?
They did, yeah.
Different. Okay,
yeah,
crazy. Yeah, this year military gun. Whew, let's go.
Yeah, they fit that. They have that vibe. I think it's cool. It's a good fit for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool.
Yeah, but it also it is wild that bands from like our bubble can get to Coachella, because that's like like the biggest, most popular fest in the world. But I think it's really cool. I know some people get pissed and Coachella's for like rich kids or whatever. There's always like something negative like people have to say, but no, I think it's cool.
It's like the influencer fest or whatever, but whatever. I mean, dude, that's cool, and they'll go out, they'll do their thing at the fest, and it'll be sweet.
Yeah,
I think.
And they're a band from our bubble doing their thing. So for people to hate, I always think it's like ridiculous.
Yeah, for sure. I do too.
Yeah, because like all the biggest bands, play it. Like Title Fights played it. Trash Talk has played it. Code Orange was scheduled to play it, but then COVID happened, so they didn't get to. You mentioned Knock Loose from last year. Knock Loose arguably like what the biggest band from our bubble. So,
right. Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah. So whenever people like get negative about that, I just try to just tune it out or just not take it serious.
Yeah. They don't know what they're talking about. They're not in the band. Maybe they are.
Probably. Okay. But last thing, for No Pressure, is there like a dream tour out there for you guys, or is there like a band inside the hardcore bubble or outside the hardcore bubble that you guys want to tour with that you haven't?
So I would say pretty confidently a dream tour for me would be Blink. but as whack as like the show would be for us, you know, like playing in a 10,000 foot barricade. But just to say that I got to play with Blink would be awesome. But I would love to do, you know, like a tour with like, I mean, I think it could happen, but like maybe like Terror vibes, you know, they're kind of like a staple of HC, and I think it'd be sick. I don't know if they'd be down, but play with us. But I always think about that. It's like something in the realm that could happen. But you know, the whole model of no pressure is literally no pressure. So if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna be too upset. If it did, it'd be dope. Yeah, Blink would be my dream, or maybe like Lifetime, because that is kind of, you know, they were carrying the torch of melodic pop punk getting accepted in the hardcore show. So, and I love them. I think they're fucking awesome. So that'd be a cool show to play, or maybe when Telefight gets back together. If I'm waiting,
It'll happen.
Yeah, it has to, right? But it's also cool that they haven't done it yet, you know?
Yeah, I think, you know, it'll happen when the time is right and, you know, on their terms.
Sure. Which is cool. Not just doing a little. I'm sure they've been offered crazy money, but.
Oh, yeah.
Not doing it for the money, you know?
Yeah, and I'm glad that they're, you know, just doing their own thing, and they're not gonna just, you know, want to get back together for a check, you know?
Yeah. That's what it's all about, man.
Okay. Well, Pat, I truly appreciate your time today. This has been awesome.
I had a good time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
But before we sign off, is there anything else you would like to say?
Stay warm in California while I'm out here freezing. Thanks for having me, man. It was fun. I'll see you in Bogota.
All right. I'll be back next year.
We're going back. Yeah.
Hopefully you will be too. But all right. Thank you again, Pat. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We'll be back soon. Goodbye.